I'm so sure that we are all together and we are going to have a beautiful time together. Listening to everyone, I think I participated in your survey stuff too, and I'm so excited that everyone is actually eager to learn sincerely, and I must appreciate Dr. Alonga too for his contributions.
Mr. Wolabi, where are you? Let's talk again. Hello? This your place. It's very beautiful in the picture now. The picture I took yesterday, I displayed it. People are asking where because of this place. They say, are you in Nigeria? Called you. It's all like that. It's all like everything that we say. Yeah. There was an error. I told you. I did something. I wanted to put something on YouTube. I mistakenly I put it on Facebook. But I've eaten it already. Nobody can see it again.
Hello, Dr. Loga.
Okay. It was a mistake.
You have to enable
me. Okay, go ahead, please.
You have to enable me again to be able to share my screen.
Okay.
I've been disabled from sharing screen.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay. Thank you. So we are back again this morning. I was saying earlier on that I appreciate everyone's eagerness to actually learn. And from what Dr. Alonga has been saying earlier on, and the reaction of everyone, I see that we are really willing to learn. So good morning, everyone. I want to hear your voices. Good morning. Good morning. I think I can see some faces that look like I know there. Okay. Good to see you. It's been a long time. Well done, Sars Amas. Good morning. So we are looking at sustainable development this morning. You have relationship with agriculture and also green environment. So that's why we are considering sustainable development. But we are now looking at engaging discretionary effort, disruptive innovation, and collaboration for pro-eco-librarianship. So we're going to see things that relate to use of technology and also most especially institutional repository. We're going to see that this morning because a lot of people are destroying the environment with our library practice, which ought not to be. We are librarians and we should be at the top of every form of information that is necessary for people to know, so that we come to us, and most especially they know that you work in agricultural related environment, so that we say that what can you do to assist them in preserving the environment. And if nobody is even coming to us, the environment is dying little by little. So what can we do as individuals to actually contribute to save the environment? That is the essence of our meeting this morning. Now, let's look at our environment. We have some issues to contend with this morning. And number one of them, as I said earlier on, is
Can you hold on, please?
Okay.
Yeah, so the projector. Okay, yes. You can go ahead, please.
Okay, can you see it clearly now?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. So the terms that we have at hand, as I said earlier on in my title, discretionary efforts, disruptive innovations, collaborations, pro-eco library, sustainable development, and then upwardly mobile leadership. All these things together, they help us as librarians to actually help the environment. So what do I mean by discretionary effort? It has to do with passion, that is going the extra mile, doing more than we are asked for. Sincerely, what we are doing as librarians has to come from our mind, from our heart. We have to be passionate about what we are doing. We are working because we want to, not because we have to. And we are in Asha, that is, are we not going to eat? Let's go to work. But now nobody is forcing us. We want to go out of our ways. I was excited at the way people were eager to learn this morning, watching what you were doing. Some people, they have to be begging them to come around, to be part of what is happening. But what I can see from the people here is that you are passionate, and passion is inevitable. Passion is very, very necessary if we must make impact as librarians. So it starts from passion, going the extra mile. For example, me now, I do cinema therapy not because I have to do, but because it is what I want to do. I want to go extra mile to make sure that we change the face of librarianship and make people to know that what we are doing is not just arranging books. Because when people define library sometimes, I get angry. We are not just book organizers. We are not people arranging books. We also contribute to the environment. Every research that people participate in or that people do, everything comes from book, they come from library. So there's what we call embedded librarianship. That is, the librarian also is involved in taking research out of books into the community. We call it town and gown relationship. The librarians also participate in that. So these are things that we do, and I'm sure by the end of this class, we are going to be happy we came. Now, disruptive innovation, like I said earlier on, things have changed from what they used to be. We are taking proactive approach to meet the changing taste and needs of new generation of users. Gone are those that you say the book is there. Some people don't even have time to come to the library. So we are talking of mobile librarians, cyborg librarians. I have put some things here. We are talking of use of artificial intelligence, cloud computing, cyborg librarianship, open access initiative, makerspace, cinema therapy, social media engagement, blended services. So all these things put together, they help us to achieve. So as librarians, we are moving ahead to ensure that the environment is preserved. If we use disruptive innovation, how do we save the environment? If somebody has access to book that is coming to library to take in his house, does he need to burn gas and pollute the environment, riding car or driving car to the office? Each time somebody starts an engine, something is happening to the environment. Each time somebody leaves the house, something is happening to the environment. Then those books that should be in the physical form, if they are now in electronic format, we are saving the trees because people are cutting trees to make books, to make papers. So indirectly, we are preserving the environment. So all these things are inevitable for us as individuals. That also, when we want to focus now about disruptive innovation, I intentionally put one of them, institutional repository, using ICT to actually meet the needs of users. And what is an institutional repository? It is a digital archive of an academic institution intellectual output. Now, repository is not only institutional. There are community repositories, there are government repositories. We are just focusing on institutional repository. It's like digital archive. That is, we archive our documents. We put all these things for easy access. We are talking of open access initiative now, so that people don't have to pay Science Direct. They don't have to pay EBSCO, Emirate, and all these people to be able to access our document. Also, it will give visibility to the people that have actually published this work. When people go online, they are searching for materials, then they see my name, they see what I've written that is related to what they are searching for. If they have to pay to access it, my publication will not be as popular because of people are selling my publication. But now that it is on open access, it is easy to see, courtesy of the university that has made it available. I hope we understand what I'm talking about. So when we talk of institutional repository, it adds to open access model by centralizing and preserving knowledge of an academic institution and making it accessible to anyone with interest access. You want to use these things, you can easily get them. That is the essence of this. And it is what is being done globally. Now, let's listen to this definition. I decided to put it for us so that we can listen to definition. And it's part of using multimedia to make presentation to us. Happy listening.
The sound is not there. Hello?
Okay, you can't hear the sound?
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
You need to share the sound of your system.
You still cannot hear the sound?
Yes.
Wow. And it is very clear to me, but can you hear me now?
We can hear your voice, but we can't hear
but you cannot hear the voice. I'm so sorry about that. But it's just defining what institutional
send to me so I can show it to them later.
Okay. So it's just institutional repository that is being described to us, that which the definition I've given earlier on, that is what I've explained so far, but just for us to have a little interest in it. Now, we have several types of institutional repository. You know, I told us that we have several types of repositories. Also, we have several types of institutional repositories. And I pray that Nigeria also will grow to the level that from our institutions, we begin to develop things that will become household resources for several parts of the world. If anybody has read The Building of Microsoft Empire by Bill Gates, it was just the idea of somebody that was in the university, was it 200 level? And then he was thinking, what can I do to help humanity? And that is how Microsoft began. And if we continue to emerge, also evolve as a nation, I'm sure we're going to impact the world. So these things that are institutional repositories were started by some individuals. Number one, Caltech Computer Science Technical Reports. This one hosts technical reports majorly. And then we have this space repository also, which takes a lot of documents and all that. Then the e-print repository repository also takes lots of documents. Then e-scholarship repository. These are just few among those ones that we have. But I intentionally focused on DSpace repository and ePrint repository because they are the two that we are going to actually focus on today. So let us go on to see what they are all about. ePrint and DSpace were actually brought up by an individual. The name of that person is Rob Tansley. Rob Tansley wrote the program for the two of them, but some companies had to now produce them later. So both DSpace and ePrint were made by Rob Tansley, that is, were written by Rob Tansley, as we have here. But according to what we have here, ePrint, with its origin in the scholarly communication movement, ePrint's default configuration is geared to research papers, but it can be adapted for other purposes also and content. We can put a lot of things in the ePrint. It can take videos, it can take any document. It was developed in the Intelligence Agent Multimedia Group at the Electronics and Computer Science Department of the University of Southampton in the year 2000. ePrint is freely distributed by GNU General Public License, and the same thing applies to DSpace. It's a platform of digital repository. It was jointly developed by Hewlett Packard Company and MIT Libraries on November 4, 2002. That was after 2 years after ePrint had been in existence. So we too, as individuals, I'm sure that we're going to have database, if it is just for Nigerian publications alone, especially librarians. We can also develop something, and we can collaborate with several departments system. They provide functionality required for management of digital repository, serving tasks of long-term preservation and access, and is intended to serve as basis for further development. So there is no much difference between the two. They are actually serving archiving purposes and accessibility from any part of the world. So they are saved in the cloud. They are saved in the cloud. So they are saved in the cloud. We can easily have access to them. And I'm going to show us that of Landmark University, where I work here, how we easily access them, and then how we can also have that in our institution. So they have architectural differences. That is the difference between DSpace and ePrint. It is their architectural appearance, the way they are configured. That is the only difference that is between them. And don't forget, I said they were actually written by one person, but with time, companies took them up and started developing them. And then they had to introduce several structures, that is architectural differences, into them. Now for DSpace, the data storage page is organized in the way to reflect institutional structure, which is using the system. That is, the structure in my own organization as shown. I will show you those steps. There are about 5 or 6 steps that you're going to look at. Every DSpace site is divided into communities, which correspond to division of the organization. Like we have the IAR&T now, it is the community. So under the community, we're going to have IAR&T. That is, it corresponds to the division of the organization, such as department, our labs, research centers, or schools. But in this arrangement, community is the highest level. Now, let's look at it for DSpace architecture, like I said earlier on. Community. For them, they have institutes of software systems. If it were to be in my place, we would say Landmark University. If it were to be in your place, we say IAR&T. So when somebody enters there, that is what they're going to see. Then the sub-community, maybe departments. We have division of computer calculation, collection reports. What are the things that are in your this space platform, insurance repository, conference publications? Those are the major things they have. We can have books, we can have videos, we can have several things that we're going to show there. An item now defining them, comparison of ePrint 3.0, whatever they have, you can actually define them. This is different from ePrint entirely. When you get to ePrint, you will see that that one is easy to use compared to this space. Both of them are free, but when you don't have the technical know-how, you have to pay organizations to actually install it. And that is why some people say that they paid for institutional repository. Like myself and Dr. Alungena, we have a team that works on all these things. If you want to install, we have technical person, and then we are going to give our own intellectual support, and then we build for organizations. But if you have a system analyst or somebody that actually understands, it's what you can develop by yourself. Then other things, the bundle, the bitstream format, that is describing the materials that you have, whether they are JPEG, HTML file, Microsoft Word version, the version in which they appear. But when you get to ePrint, which we use in our own place, is different from what is in this space architecture. Now let's look at ePrint's architecture. The architecture of the ePrint is so different. The idea of ePrint data model is that all records are equivalent and they don't make up a hierarchy. We don't have to define and begin to talk of which one is going to have priority or which one is going to have community or whatever. Let's put them together and then let's use Library of Congress classification to actually tell about these resources. That is what the ePrint architecture is actually focusing on. I said we're going to look at our own institution. Let me just check, and then we'll see what we have in Landmark University. Now, for us at Landmark University, our ePrint, let me start all over again, eprint.lmu.edu.ng. I'm going there now, eprint.lmu.edu.ng. I'm going to the site now. He has brought me afresh. Are you seeing it? Can you see what I'm demonstrating?
No. You can, yeah. Hello, Mr. Olabi. You can just minimize your PowerPoint.
Yes, the PowerPoint, yes, I've minimized that earlier on.
Yeah, we don't see it.
Okay. Maybe I should bring you share.
You reshare your screen.
Yes, new share. Yes, that's what I'm doing again.
Okay.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go back again. Let me go back. eprint.lmu.edu.ng. I log in now. So this is where we come. Can you see it? Now coming here, this is our home. Then I will have to.
You can't go there.
I have logged in earlier on. So we are going to add documents. So we have manage deposits.
Hello, this place, hello. No, that's if you did it, manage our resources. This is a database now.
So you can see what I have here. when you want to log in, you start from what type of resources? The type of resources you want to take in, can you see? I start from type, it has arrow, it's guiding us. Can you see? Now, I have article. I want to upload article. So I've clicked on article.
This one looks like Koa. Sorry, Mr. Olabi, do you use Koa?
No, we use Alexandria for our OPAC.
For your OPAC, okay. That was Koa.
Yes, it's different from Koa, yes.
No, it's not free source. Is it free source?
This one or
No, the
Alexandria?
other one, the one you use.
No. We paid, but it's very cheap.
Okay, so we need to talk about. I know he's interested.
Okay, no problems. So we have seen the type, and I clicked on article. So I'm going to upload. You can see the next thing I'm putting my arrow on. It says upload. So it will bring. You can see. So I'm choosing file. So it will take me to my desktop. If it is online, you just have to capture from URL and then put that. But now I'm choosing from my laptop. So it has taken me here. So I'm going to take one. There's a paper I'm just working on, adolescent and bibliotherapy. Yes, it's here. So open. So it has put it there. Can you see adolescent and bibliotherapy? Can everyone see it? Can you see it? Yes. Then I will click.
Can you enlarge your screen? The screen, so that you can see. It's about tiny.
It's already enlarged.
Yeah.
It's already
that place.
Sorry,
no. Just go up to that enlarge again. Go up.
Sorry,
where you are
already,
before.
Yes, I know.
Just go there. Yes.
Sorry, my distance is misbehaving.
Yeah. After, just wait. See the three dots. The three dots on that.
Yes, I've seen it.
Click on that.
Zoom. To zoom it. Yes.
Zoom more than 100%. Yeah. Good. It's okay.
Can you see it clearly now?
Okay. Clearly, it's better now. Yeah.
So I've uploaded. The next thing now is to upload, which I've clicked on. Okay. And I've chosen the file. Then upload. So it has uploaded. Then it's going to ask me a lot of questions. Yes?
You said this work you are showing us, there is your work and you are not completed it. So there is a place on that institutional repository for work not finished?
Yes, that's what I said earlier on, that this eSpace accepts more documents, even your write-ups that are not published, it can take it. Videos, it can take it. You just have to specify what type of thing you are putting there. You understand? Content. So whether it is, you can see draft version. Can you see it? Yes. Submitted version, accepted version, published, updated version, supplemented, So it takes any kind of thing. You understand now? Like this one, I can say draft version. You understand? Type is text, not video, but it can be video, slideshow, images. Can we see it? Yes. Aha. So since mine is text, I just put it there. Then you may offer an additional brief description of the format. I can say that this work, can you see it? Yeah. This work is yet to be published. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Then indicate the required security level to this document. If I want anyone to see it, I can say, or I can say that registered users only, or I can say repository staff only. Can you see it?
Yes.
So I can, but now, so that people can have access to it, I said anyone. Then it continued. The license, yes, it's not specified, but I want to say that Creative Commons, no derivative works 3.0. It depends on public domain dedication. Whatever you want, you can put it there. But Creative Commons is very okay, and it's for everybody to be able to see, because there is an agreement that people should migrate to open access, and it is under the Creative Commons attribution. So we can put Creative Commons attribution. Then here, if I want to be specific, I say 2021 month, maybe November or October. Let's put October. Date. Maybe today is 13 or 14. So you can see now, update metadata. After I've done all those things, I will update. So I've done upload. So the next thing is details. You understand what I'm saying now? So we come to details. So it's coming to details. It's giving me a sample now, maybe a brief history, authorized biography, mathematics for engineers and scientists, ecosystem of the world. I can just give something about it, but I'm looking at bibliotherapy. And cinema therapy for adolescents. You understand now? Then if there is abstract of it, I can copy the abstract and put there. But I just put something there. You understand? I can delete my records later. So let's say that is the abstract. Then here, how many public persons publish with me? You understand what I'm talking about now? Family name. But what is saying that your name, your email, then we have all migrated. I don't know how many of us have ORCID number, which we call OKID number. If your publication is in Scopus, or you have international recognition, you should have OKID number. Does anybody have OKID number here? Anybody?
You have OKID number. You need to have a personal number, just like phone number.
It's your personal number that recognizes your
How many have you done so far? How many practicals? How many do you have left? So I can add that for them. Don't worry, I will add it for them.
I please do, so that they can. End, yes.
It's not part of what you want to do.
Because if you don't,
they will have. I will do that.
If you don't have that, you are not yet recognized as an international scholar. International scholars have OKID number, so that is what is used to recognize your publication in any part of the world. So when you just give people that number, they can see all that you have published all over the world. Now let's just check. Or don't let me take you far, since Dr. Luga is going to take you. So you just, we don't have to So I'll put my email, my name, but because of time, we're just doing all this for practical. I don't want to waste our time. And then email, then my OKID number, I'll put it there, and then you put in rows. Then companies that consider authors of this anthem, it's better you just put your institution, like me now, Landmark University. You understand? I put it there. Then the division, where does it fall? Is it social sciences? So I can put faculty of arts and social sciences.
Pastor, Pastor Sola,
Yes, sir.
is it anybody that can come in and start all day?
No, my institution has registered for it. So what will happen to you now is that when this publication is out, if you search anything that relates to adolescent and cinematherapy, you will have access to my records. You can use this paper, but you will not know all these things that have gone underneath.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm trying to find out is that the repository, the records, who knows it on the external repository? Is it everybody that has an access to know, okay, this is my work and I want to do it for this?
No, it's because my institution has registered me on it. Okay. I've been registered on this only because I'm a staff of Landmark University.
Okay.
If I leave the Landmark University today, the access will be withdrawn from me.
Okay. Okay.
You understand now? But that is why there are issues also that have come up based on this, that ownership. You see, there are issues that have come up, then also copyright issues, all these things, but there are other things that will be discussed in other, if we discuss that for now, it may take a lot of time, but several issues have come based on that. Thank you for that question, sir. So, please indicate whether this version of the work has been referred below. That is it, do you have reference for it? Yes. Then is it published? I say in press, or I can say unpublished. That is the status of my work for now. Then the title of a journal that I publish it in, so that we are looking at copyright also, because this is for academic purpose. We are covered by the copyright law, and that's what we call fair use clause. We are not using it for profit. So the fair use clause covers us, but I'm still making reference to the journal where it is published. So we recognize that journal. So I can say that maybe Journal of Library Philosophy and Practice. I know every librarian, almost every librarian has published in Library Philosophy and Practice. If you have not published there, let me see your hands up. You've not published in Library Philosophy and Practice. If you have published, let me see your hands up. Or you people are not publishing. I know Dr. Alogi has published in Library Philosophy and Practice. I'm not asking you to lift up your hand. Pastor Shadrach, you have paper there, Nabi? Yes. So that is good. So the journal, we've just put it there, Library Philosophy and Practice. So we can put that there. Then a person, firm or corporate body that is responsible for this, like this person now said, Oxford University Press, you can say maybe your institution or the name of the company of that Library Philosophy and Practice, so that everyone will be recognized. You can still say library philosophy and practice. Enter the volume number of the journal series which your item appeared, if it is there. But if it is not there, you may leave it blank. You understand? But if you are putting it, maybe the way we usually do cataloging, maybe X1. You understand what I'm talking about now? Or you can say volume 1, issue 3. You understand? Then page 206 to 20. Sorry, it's not. Let's just use pages 205 to 207. It's not taking much. Is it 20 to 25? I think the setting is affecting it. Then enter the issue number. Okay, the issue is here. Issue 1. Then maybe volume 3. You understand now? Then the sequence of pages of items. Do not enter P, that is pages. Sorry, is the volume 20. Okay. Then the page 201 to 216. Then the year of publication, month of publication. But it's just to let us know all these things. You understand? Because if we want to fill everything, it may take us years. So you just go to next. It may complain that all those things have not been imputed. So it has taken it. So here, you now go to subject. That is where classification comes in. So if you go to subject, it's going to bring the Library of Congress classification scheme. It's still going. You can see. You can see purely LC classification scheme. So where does this work belong? Anybody?
Are we together?
Yes.
So there's a question.
Where does our work belong?
Social science.
Social science, yes. Any other one? Social science, it belongs to education also, is that not? But more specifically, we have library science. Can we see? Z, at least anything that relates to library science, Z is there. Can we see it?
Yes.
So we can click Z. Then under it, we can put it in more specific place. So we can say just general library science or information resources, either of the two. We've done that. Then we can now say deposit, but I don't want to deposit it. You understand? So that people will not just be wondering what I've deposited into. Though we can still remove it later, but I decided not to just deposit it. But this is just what goes on before we see works online. You now say that I was searching for one information and I saw this from Landmark University, because Landmark University repository, we display it, Google will capture it other search engines will also capture it. So we can have access to them and without paying a kobo. And that is the essence of this. I just said I should branch there for us to actually have it. So that is that for now. Then we are coming back to our presentation that we have been taking. I think you can see me now.
Yes, we are fine. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So the e-print architecture is what I've just shown us. It's not complicated. It will be leading you step by step until you get to where you are going. When it is installed, they will put your names there and then you to be able to do this. And your work will be easy. And that is what we talk about academic visibility, research visibility. Some people are working, but all the things that we do in our local journals, and we don't endeavor to scan them. You can scan and put in a record and then still upload on e-prints. It will take it. So people can see your work in any part of the world. So don't say that I've published inside our school journal. I cannot do it. You can scan and also make it into electronic digital record for everybody to be able to access. Then these are just the steps to take when we want to implement metadata. Like I've said, you consider the document type and all those things. That is that about institutional repository for now. Now, at this point, for us to actually excel, I said it yesterday, under networking, but now I'm talking of collaborations. The sustainable development goals of the world has to do with, people say that where do librarians belong? We usually take SDG 4, which is what? Quality education. And even in our university here, I've been made the chairman of SDG 4. But I do tell them that yes, education is good, quality education, but we actually belong to the 17th goal, which is partnership for the goal, because all of them depend on the library. And if librarians don't come to that level, people will just think, librarians, education, they can't one way. No. Embedded librarianship is what we are doing now. Everybody came from different departments. If I ask everybody now, who read English among us? Anybody? Anybody read mathematics? Agriculture? Okay, what is our subject combination when we read library science? Okay, somebody religious studies. What?
Language, yeah.
Okay, language, yes. Another person? Political science, Hausa. So now, with what we have done now, we can see that we belong to different departments that constitute the 17 SDG goals. So we can collaborate with people from different departments. That's why I do say that librarians are the fulcrum or the pivot for smooth sailing of the SDG goals. If we look at history of libraries, I know that people don't like history, but history of library has made us to know that education, whether science, whether magic, whether political, anything, started from the library, because the librarians were the keepers of those information resources then, and they were kept in shrines, they were kept in palaces, and librarians were the custodians. And with who has ever seen this movie, Merlin? Anybody? Merlin?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, thank you very much. There was this man, was it Gaius or what's his name? The old man. Who was he? He was the librarian. People thought he didn't know anything. He knew magic more than the magicians. Do you know? When Merlin came to his wit's end, he didn't know what to do. He had to go to Gaius, the librarian. It was the librarian that now told him the right book to use to practice his magic. So librarians know everything, but it's just that some librarians are now lazy. We cannot research more. We cannot go to the depth of knowledge. And if universities started from libraries or institutions started from libraries, they are now pushing librarians out as if they are not relevant. Where in the first place, we are the one they should consider. We are the one they should even come and consult. So that is why it is very important for librarians to upscale their game and be in the 17th SDG goal, which is partnership for the goals. Everybody should partner with the librarians for them to actually see the smooth sailing of the SDG goals. So we now need to be multidisciplinary in nature, multidisciplinary in our approach, and see how we can actually influence the country and in extension, the world. So we think globally, but let's start acting locally from our institutions. Now, pro-eco librarianship in details now. Because we are librarians, we must be pro-eco. That is, thinking of the environment as we carry out our activities. Now, the library structure, resources and personnel. I can see that the library there is maybe, don't let me judge, it's not totally pro-eco. You use wood to divide that place, I can see. Is that not?
Yeah.
We are destroying the trees. We need to go to use of metals. Even if there is fire, it will not spread easily. And also the way we build our structure. I do tell them that Kennedy Library is one of the best libraries in the world. But it's just that it has is in the hand of we Nigerians now, but God will help us more. If you have entered that library before, have you ever seen AC in the reading areas? I think Dr. Longi has worked there before. Is there AC?
No, no AC.
No AC there. And there are even no fans.
Yes, you are right.
But the place is cool, it's pro-eco, because there's cross ventilation the way they built it. So here, free flow of air. They look at the direction of the wind before building that library. And these are things that I do tell the people that my diploma days, or some of us that did diploma, in those days, people that taught us then, librarianship, I think, actually died with them in Nigeria. And some of us that are now, that add that knowledge, we maybe some are not going into teaching, or some are not presenting seminars to teach librarians. Even if you inherit a bad library, try to restructure that library and let people know that you want to give them a good library. I work in a library where if there's no light, everybody will move out, because everywhere is AC and we think we are being sophisticated. They are destroying the environment. Where I am now, if you enter there, it must be on AC. If light is off, we have to move out, because there's no, everywhere is blocked. They use glass everywhere, no windows. And that is destroying the environment, because the heat that is now generated is destroying the ozone layer. We capture the heat in a house and then throw it out from the AC. And also, let's look at our urinary. Most especially for men, they should do for women too. When you go to toilet, you urinate in the toilet. What do? They say flush after use. Is that not? Even if you have not defecated, you must flush. But if there's urinary, it uses little water, especially for men. I'm sure they will create that of women one day too. It may be in some other countries. So when you urinate there, you just press that thing, it releases little water just to clean that place. So we are preserving water. But I've seen some toilets in libraries, they just have them and everybody is going there flushing, and then we are using water anyhow. And then we don't have a way of preserving rainwater too. All these things in countries that are even developed, what they do is that they preserve rainwater to be able to do things for flushing, cleaning, and all those things. But I'm sure with time we will grow up to that level in Nigeria. So I don't want to dwell too much on that, but there are several areas like the interior repository we have talked about now. I know some places where they keep journals, physical journals, and those things are pushing even the librarians out of their offices. There's no space again. They will say we are going to break down our library and expand it the more. For how long are we going to keep expanding the library? We need to go digital, and also use of online public access catalog. I don't know which OPAC do you use in your library there? Is it COA? COA. Okay, that's still good. It requires constant upgrading and all that.
Is it functioning now?
It's not functioning, Abby.
The server has the problem.
No, I know it will have. Well, but I don't want to market anything to us. This is just normal presentation. But I know you will have challenges. Don't let me say you will have problems. You have challenges. But some people are maintaining it well, but it needs constant updating, constant review, and all that. But that's a discussion for another time. Then thinking global, acting local. I've told us we need to learn a lot of technological skills. While we are thinking global, let's start local. What are you working on yourself to be globally recognized, and also for our libraries here to be also recognized globally? Then change management, I cannot overemphasize that. The world is changing. If we don't change, they will leave us behind. We cannot just continue to say that we use card catalog, we use OPAC, fine. But there are many other things we need to learn with OPAC, with all the things that we know. I appreciate things that we know, but they say there is quick obsoleteness of technology. What we think we know today, by tomorrow, it has changed. Who knew that today we'll be using our Zoom for this presentation, but that is what the world is giving to us. And with time, Zoom will even become obsolete. So we need to keep upgrading ourselves. Let me tell you what somebody said. Somebody said, you need to revalidate your certificate every 6 months. Your certificate becomes obsolete after 6 months. You may think you know, but if you meet people that know, you will know that you don't actually know. And even the more we know that we don't know, because things keep changing every day, and we need to keep updating ourselves. We need to appreciate change. So I put here library green clubs. We can start it. Tree planting, green library buildings, librarians as automation. Not we ourselves, we have become cyborg. That is, we are half human, half engine. That does not mean they operate us, but we have become the automation that we are saying we should automate. Some people talk of automation. They even teach automation in universities, but they themselves, they don't operate all those things. I can come here and talk of institutional repository, but if it is just verbal, I cannot do practical for you. It does not make any sense. So these are the sustainable development goals. and they usually put librarians and say go to quality education. But I'm saying that we should be in partnership for the goals. Everything should evolve around us. We should be involved in everything. Don't say that it is only all these people that are doing it. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, because I cannot. Okay, I was thinking. So we should not say it is only scientists that are doing it. Let them see that we are interested in their field, especially if you have some background in some courses. Go back. Some people have forgotten about the course they did as undergraduates, especially those that did another course, undergraduate, or you combine and you have done your master's in library and information science, or you have been practicing in library. Everything we now focus on is cataloging and classification, or indexing and abstracting. We should go beyond that. We should go to safety. I think Dr. Lunge, you're in health. Is that not?
Health information, yeah.
Health information, yes. And so health information, and he has got a lot of grants on that. He has related with people. He has been traveling with doctors, medical doctors, several people. So you don't have to just say that it is cataloging and classification alone I will stay with. By that, we'll be left behind. This is what this man, the CEO of, or the president of, what's the name of this phone? What's the name? Nokia.
Nokia.
Yes, Nokia. This is what he said. He said we did not do anything wrong, but we did not move while others were moving. And we can see that we are now behind. They did not take Android when Android came. And that is what led to their undoing. And look at BlackBerry also. BlackBerry was the in thing at that time. Pinging. And we thought that was the end of the world. But there is nowhere to be found today. So you may think we are at the start today, but by tomorrow, we may see that the little boy of yesterday has become the star, while we have become the spectators. It's my prayer that we'll not be spectators in Jesus' name. So upwardly mobile quality leadership is what we need, and that has to do with our image management. I see librarians sometimes the way we dress make people to think we are just people to be arranging books truly. Image management, what we do on Facebook, what we do on YouTube, what we do everywhere, all those things have to reflect projecting our image. I spoke to somebody, he said, when you want to start business, selling suits, selling ties, who do you think of? Let me carry out that a poll, opinion poll here too. When you want to sell suits, you want to sell shoes, who do you think about to sell your product to?
The bankers.
The bankers. That is the image they have given to us, because they know that for you to sleep in your house peacefully and drop your money with them. Some people drop billions of naira with bankers, but they look at them, they think they cannot steal, though they may be stealing, but they've changed the orientation of the world about them, the perception of people about them. Image management is inevitable for us to actually make decisions in universities. If you just become a university librarian and you say, I want to restructure, or an institution librarian, you say, I want to restructure this library. That's what I did when I got to KPMG. I restructured everything. I said, we have to pull down this shanty you have. Let's build a new one. And which we had to do. They said, can I convince them out? They are going to spend millions to change that. And I was able to do mathematical analysis to convince them on the time they waste in searching for information and the time that we have by adopting my own technology, and that money from my technology, we can use it to build. And by the time I told them about the hours they waste and how it relates to money, everybody was clapping because they could see that I understood what I was doing. But I also had to appear sharp to them I had to tell them I will not go there and speak useless English to them. I had to go and learn. I had to go and touch up myself a little in order for me to be acceptable to them. All these things are inevitable. Then academic and professional restructuring. We need to do it, but that is for management. I presented this at a conference, and they were saying that yes, it's high time for librarians to come together and restructure the curriculum because what we are teaching is becoming obsolete. I'm not saying it's totally obsolete. Even in law, in medicine, everybody is upgrading. So we librarians also, we have to upgrade by making sure we review our curriculum and but also your operational strategy. That is what you have to restructure in your own place. How do we want to be appearing to people? How do we want to be addressing people in our library? Thank God, Dr. Alonge, you carried out, you told them to carry out opinion poll. They should do it. Why are people not coming to library? Why are they not using our resources? What do they want? So we are restructuring and we have to play at the mainstream. Librarians must not take the back seat. You come to the front. We address institution. We let them know things we can do for them. It will help us. Then we have to leverage on ICT. We cannot do without ICT. This is very, very important. And I cannot overemphasize it, but I know that we get what I'm actually talking about. Then let us project the green revolution, and that is by use of more of technology and also looking at our environment. What can we change? What can we change? Can we, maybe some part of the library, we can pull them down and look for thick glass instead of wall. What would that do? It will bring reflection in, and we don't have to be putting on the light 24/7. I have a friend at the Oxford University, Annie Gleason. She said, I was speaking to her. I said, your library? Yes. Um, she said I should take the picture of my library and send to her. She saw a lot of light. I was thinking that would impress her. She said, Shola, what is this? You're putting on light? I said, yeah. She said, we don't use light in the afternoon. We use reflection for the light. And then where the books are, that's where we put mild light and then little darkness so that the books will not be affected. But the reading areas, we make it, I said, wow. And that is, if you have been to the postgraduate section of Landmark University before it was destroyed, I do tell them anytime I go there, that postgraduate section has been destroyed because it was using transparent roof before. So all through afternoon, they did not need to use electricity. It was just light from directly from above. And there's a way they did it that the heat was not so strong, penetrating the glass. But now they've blocked it, they've changed the roof, and whenever light is off, people will have to be putting on their torchlight. Or now that the school is coming up, things are happening, they are using inverter and all that, but all those things will not be necessary if we are using direct sunlight for reading, and then with glasses that will not be absorbing light. That's why we have to partner with architects and also builders to actually work on our libraries. In conclusion, the world has shifted. We must know the truth. The world is not what it used to be. We now, in every work environment, we have the digital natives, we have the digital migrants, and we have digital aliens. They don't even understand anything about technology. We have to now carry everyone along. We cannot leave people behind, because leaving them behind will be trouble for us too, because they will always come to haunt us. But those that do not have that skill, let us help them to upgrade. And also, we cannot feign ignorance and say that, no, things are still the way they used to be. No, the world has changed. And if we don't change, we will destroy the world with our practices. Like I said earlier on, things that can destroy the environment, we need to avoid them like plague. and we have to be responsive. Some people are responsible, but they are not responsive. Yes, they do things right, but to be responsive means you have to go back to learn what you have not learned. So I've been Toffler said, the illiterate of the 21st century are not people that cannot read or write, but the people who cannot unlearn, learn, and relearn. That is, we have to learn, we have to unlearn some things we have learned in the past, then learn new things and unlearn. That is a actual 21st century. There are things I've learned before. I must go back and unlearn them. And there are things I've learned. Can anybody hear me? Hello?
Yes, we are here.
Hello? Okay, okay. Because this is showing that the connection is unstable. Okay, is it stable? Okay, thank you so much. Because it was telling me connection unstable. So we may ruffle some feathers. That is just the truth. Some people will not feel okay with new approaches, but we have to pay the price of attending meetings, answering queries, uh, explaining what we are doing to people, and changing our perspective, helping people. The price has to be paid now so that in future, everybody will be relevant, because what we are campaigning all over the world now is relevance in our field. On this note, I want to say thank you for the time. If you have any question, we are together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Owolabi, for that beautiful presentation.
You're welcome, sir.
And just like an eye-opener, and also to stimulate the Liberians to think about being a modern Liberian. This is a modern world. Not all Liberians are modern. Some are still very, maybe some are laid back, afraid of change. Not only here, even when you go to big libraries, in quotes, you know,
yes,
they are still there. Some of them have phobia even for technology and others. So bringing people or doing this kind of workshop, I think it should be frequent. We really encourage users, I mean the Liberians, so I can meet up with the international standard. You know, and you have started well, really, I must say that. Because in a time like this, when things are not that easy, in terms of governments releasing money. You know, I was at a meeting with him yesterday. I know how things are difficult. Even in my university, you are in private, I think you are better. I don't know, maybe you have enough money. And for us to get money is very difficult. So to organize in-house training, I must commend the management of this library for that. So, and also, I know you have gained a lot from Dr. Owolabi. Very soon going to become a doctor, you know, just at the tail end. So let's hear your opinion, maybe questions, comments, or anything from you before moving. And I won't allow the edge to start. Because I know if you have spoken, nobody will speak again. So you'll be the last one to speak. So they're all here. So let's hear from them. Then the head of the library, who is the college librarian, we now round up. So everybody will say something. At least, when is your break, your lunch? When we finish this, we go for lunch and we'll come back. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Felix, you're just telling your name so that, yeah. My name is
You should move closer to you, sir. You should move
come closer here, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Salah Felix.
Go ahead, please. He's hearing you.
Yes, I have a question to ask. I know.
Okay, sir.
Yes, I know.
Go ahead, please.
Most libraries have a library management system. Like
For example, here now we make it of what?
Yes.
Go ahead, Shola. I mean, are you hearing us? Is that projector?
I can hear you
Hello?
clearly.
Okay, good. Is it
Yes,
clearer
I can
now?
hear you.
Go ahead.
Yes,
As I was saying, we
but-
make use of what here? And you said you are making use of Alexandra in your university as well. But I want to ask, is there any difference? Or when a university has this online public access catalog, do we still need this institutional repository? Because I can see that the two, though one is in-house and the other one is asset, and the asset is globally. So I want to ask, is there any difference there? Or when a library, when a library makes use of library management system, do we still need institutional
repository. Thank you very much. Let me first start from where you stopped. The institutional repository, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The library management system, LMS, is accessible all over the world. It's not in-house. Are you listening to me? So there is also the institutional repository is accessible all over the world too. From where you are now, if I give you the link to my OPAC, you can see what I have in my OPAC there. Should we try it now?
Okay.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you connected to internet?
Sorry, just go ahead, please. We have issue with the projector.
Okay. Okay.
Just go
sorry.
ahead.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that with Landmark University, we have password, we have everything. If I give you, you will access what we have inside on the shelf of our libraries. You will see them. You can request for what you have. You don't have to come to my library to be able to borrow a book. All you need to do is to go through what we have, and then you request for it. Then we can scan and send the pages you need. Or if you have the money, we can scan the book to you, but for academic purpose only, which is why we have fair use clause, because copyright issues still subsist. So now I've established the fact that both of them are accessible all over the world, but they are not the same thing. ILMS, or the library management software, is for the records of books in the library, and also journals and some other records that are from the library. But institutional repository, and which I support the one you will pay for, because you enjoy support, technical support from those people. And they also know that they are collecting subscription every year. They make sure that your work is up and running, working. But for COA, there are people that have been getting it right because they have the technical skill to keep managing and changing. So LMS differ from one another. It depends on the company that hosts it. There was a time people were using Millennium, but in some places now, Millennium has crashed. There were some other software that people were using before now that have crashed. But Alexandria, since we've started using it 2011 till date, it has not crashed. When they do upgrade, they quickly communicate us. They let us know, which is maybe once in about 5 years or 3 years. So it has always been constant. So institutional repository is quite different. In fact, it encourages self-archiving. A lecturer can stay in his office and update his own, but we do not give everybody opportunity to upload things in the library management software, our Alexandria. So it is the catalogers that do that. So that's why we have several modules. The modules for cataloging is different from the modules for reader services. Is different from journals. You understand what I'm talking about now? So that is core professional responsibility. But for institutional repository, self-archiving is permitted. So there are two different platforms which are dichotomized, that is, that are different from each other. I don't know whether you understand what I'm talking about now. So that is the explanation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we need one more or two. Okay, madam, yes. Can move closer, ma. Okay.
Please move clear, move closer. I can't hear you.
She's using microphone now. She's ready to hear now.
Well done, Dr. Amonde, and thank you, Pastor Owolabi, for the eye contact. Sometimes when people come, some people come from, they take from Abuja for the ETS. Yes.
Go ahead, please.
They made a comment that people using this library, we become blind because of the structure. Because our library, the up here is painted, we have curtains, so there's no much ray of light. So I know with this lecture, our lecturer will go to management so that we can structure this library before we reach to have many readers. But they are no more coming, not because of the ICT, but because the library is no more conducive for them. So I thank you for this. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Any other comments? One or just one more? Okay, thank you. Someone is standing up. Okay. Oh, I'll give you a chance also after her. What is it? Okay, go ahead, madam. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Oh, Labi.
You said Alexandra is better. How can we subscribe to this Alexandra? Because we used to have hope and we no longer use it.
Okay.
Okay. No longer use it. How can we go about this Alexandra?
Okay. Thank you so much. Alexandria has a country representative that actually installs for institutions and is on ground to give technical support. And do you know a good thing about Alexandria? He can stay where he is in Abuja and be working on your Alexandria, and you'll be seeing it here in your office. Whatever technical need you need, they'll be working on it, restructuring it, and repairing it, and then you'll be seeing the step-by-step approaches. And if your institution will subscribe to that, I think it's about 4-point-something million, and per annum, they'll be paying something close to maybe 1.8 million or 2-point-something million, I'm not sure. But that is what we do every year, and it has helped us. Somebody may say that the money is too much, but the benefit we get, as a matter of fact, the returns are higher. It's just that we don't market libraries any longer. Library marketing is another cost entirely. People come to library, and for example, the collaborations we now have with many organizations based on the fact that we have that. Some of us have traveled out of the country, courtesy of the services we render in the library and courtesy of the visibility we have. But some people will be looking at, they say penny wise, pounds foolish. We think we are saving money. If you are spending about 2 or 3 million every year, and your people have access, and you are making about close to 100 million every year, because you just have to analyze it to your people. Your faculty are doing research. They are having access. Some of them will be sick at home. They just have to rest, but they can access some things from home. Look at how much we even pay for Science Direct. This is another thing entirely. Millions of naira. People will say, what's that waste? I know some people, this one, they want to do accreditation alone, that they now subscribe to Alexandria. After that, they will not subscribe to it again. But since we have not developed anything in Nigeria, it is still the white we are paying. We have to do that. Though my advice would be that librarians in Nigeria should come together, and then we develop something that we also can even commercialize to other parts of the world. But I know that IT section and other people, when we begin to hold meetings with them, we are going to do something to have database. But for now, that is what we are subscribing to, and it is giving us edge in our institution because we pass accreditation every year. Apart from that, our faculty are actually productive. We have so many of our faculty outside Nigeria based on the fact that they have access to resources. Thank you very much. So I can get you the contact of the person that is in charge to do it for you if you want to. Any other question?
Are you there? We have one person. Okay, you can get closer, madam. Yes.
Hello, ma.
Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear. The voice is faint, but I can see it.
Maybe you can just, maybe from the experience on your own library, that you can just tell us the way of generating, another way of generating funds for the library. You know, you're about to say, I'm a not the management assigned. If you're sharing money, assigned to don't do that. They say maybe one day not generate funds. But that's I know from the area of life that know how you know generate funds, the situation of the country, whether they use library or not. I know you mentioned some, so you open our eyes, but if there's any little way, but I know of that's not been even really moving. I mean, they have not been started it, but they are not considering. These are another way you think they can remember the life.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, there are several ways we are generating money here. Now, you have students, am I sure? You have students? Hello?
Yes, they have students.
Yes,
they have.
Your school, they do project every year. So what we do here is that it is just the soft copy of their project this must send to the library. Are you listening to me now? So the library does the printing. It is already in the money. So they pay to the library through the account, but in the name of the library. So we at least every year, we generate nothing less than about maybe 15 million in that aspect. All students that are graduating, they will pay to the library, and having paid, we will print, we will bind.
Sorry, what's the tag for that payment on the project?
Sir?
How do you charge that one? Is it the library use payment or what? Or for the project?
Yeah, no, it is final year thesis, you understand, or project for that done in the library. You understand now? final year thesis production or final year project production, FPP. You understand now? So final year project production, everything is done in the library. So you do that.
Even you I started that one, it's possible.
Yes, you
It's possible. You I started now. Thesis are will be done in the library because it's running there.
Yes.
Which you are private now? You are private. Okay, you can explain.
So
I think we have a response from the leader on that.
And then we call it under IGR. Are you listening to me?
We are here, yeah.
IGR, internally generated revenue. IGR. So you do that, then also all the what do you call it? I don't know whether they present inaugural lecture or there are project things that are done. The library takes responsibility, though there sometimes collision with public relation affairs, but you have to work with them. That they make sure they produce and get this to students. So the school will release fund to produce it. And when students have it, and you see that the cost of this may not be more than 300 naira per student. But if you, especially if you have population, so that lecture gets to the hand of every student and you have access to it. Maybe the gain may be 50 naira or 100 naira. The library and the university share it together. Then also, are we together? The library can organize trainings. The library organizes trainings for, so that is why we have to, you don't need to have the expertise, you bring experts. Maybe you want to train people on use of Microsoft Word because people think they're using Microsoft Word, but they are not actually using it. You understand now? People think they are using Google, they are not using Google. So you can train the entire university. So the profit from it is shared between the library, the university, and the facilitators. You understand what I'm talking about now? We have trained faculty members here. We have done several training programs. Then also you can also invite people from outside to come to records management. There are organizations that surround you. You want to train them on records management while you say that staff of the library may do it for free, but persons that are coming from outside, you will do publicity and then they will come to do training in your place. You can bring external facilitators on records management or other aspects of management, even office management, office technology management. All those things are small, and then your institution will give them certificates because people need certificate, and especially federal institutions, they need to do training every year. So all those certificates, you are targeting that time, and then you can always invite facilitators to come and do that, and the profit will be shared. So the library is also contributing. Not that the people will say the library is a non-profit, all those times have gone, and we cannot pretend to be ignorant of what is happening. I think I've been able to answer that question to an extent, if not totally. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we get that response. No, before you, is there any other response or any other question? Now let's allow the head of the library to make his response and also to ask questions.
Hello, sir.
Well done, sir. It's only lecture that really enlighten us. So I'm very, very good. I think there are areas that we have broadened my knowledge. Thank you very much. But let me start from the institutional repository. for some years now. I think this institution has in the last 50 something years released technological breakthroughs, most especially in the area of agriculture. And I told them, because I found out that there are a lot of arguments at times that we have done this work, somebody have worked on this before. I think somebody said so yes. But I said it's because we don't have records. We don't have an institutional repository where we can lay our hands on and say,
archive those things, yes.
Where we can say in the last so year, this is what we have done on this, this is where we are coming from, this is what we have done, and this is the trend. So we can do a further research on what we have done in the past.
Yes, sir.
But I'm faced with, let me say, the unit is faced with some challenges. And you said something that has to do with clash of interest.
Yeah.
The information technology unit, list of the public relation unit. And that is taking me to the issue of the two.
I can't hear you again, sir. Hello? Hold on, hello?
This I mentioned the last time. It's more user friendly, and it says
Your voice is breaking. I can't hear you clearly. Hello? Hello?
hello.
Aha, I can hear now. I could not hear before.
Okay, I said I'm on this space at the imprint. You hear me now?
Yes.
That the imprint is more flexible and more user friendly, and
yes, yes.
that is what I need to really explain to us.
Mm.
Now, the we have is the issue of funding. Even the ones that we have already, we have used lots of political willpower to get it. Now, it's not out of the way if you can introduce someone to us from there, that probably there will be, even if we are going to subscribe, there's something that is going to do to us, really help us on that event. I'll go to sustainable development goals. The fourth one is on the quality education. And here, I believe that in any library, whatever you are doing to be able to assist both research and teaching. So the 17th that says about partnership. That's what we are trying to do here. I'm trying to see how we can even partner. You know, you've been calling me college idea. I'm not the college idea anyway. We have 2 colleges, and that's why this space is so unique. We have 2 other colleges. Here is the university. We are under Bakunaula University, and we now have federal colleges, 2 federal colleges of animal and agriculture. I think the major thing that is affecting this way is that the students are more attached to the colleges. So yeah, although the colleges are using this place for their accreditation, we have this place at their mainland. So we are only emphasizing that they just have to do more on that. So on the issue of the e-resources that you made mention, please, if you can help us in that area, that we can liaise with whoever that can install it for us.
Okay.
And we now see how we can collaborate with the other two colleges to lessen the burden on the university.
That's good. Thank you very much, sir.
Talking about the go green, uh, outside the institution management, how do we go about that? You said something about a building, a library building, that even from the structure, there is no need for much illumination. You understand? That is the way they structure this library. But one thing you notice is that maintenance culture, not with the present management, but the government in and out. So we see that this one, as you can see here, you see that it's made up of glass for the illumination. But subsequent administration believe that, oh, the security, no, they paint everything. They paint the place black. And you know government policy, it is do as I say. So how do we
one house.
on our own try to see how we can have a good place that is conducive for our users. Just like I said, and the other people that have spoken, I talk about all the in-house software that we have used in the past, from the CDS, ISI, to COA. In fact, the management spent a lot of money on the COA. And the COA pack up probably due to some things that when you don't have a good power, UPS, and so on and so forth, and you don't even have, you just sustain some things. You don't even have power to sustain it. You don't even have the generator stuff. You are just getting some things. So the Alexander now is kindly us so that we can see what we can do on that. On the IGR, those are the challenges that we have. Those are the challenges. The issue that I've mentioned, that this is more of a research.
Sorry, please let's have one house. It's still going on.
Research from academic level, everything like that. But all the funds being generated through students are not coming directly to us. So that's why all my people here are asking that all other sources that we can generate our IGR, we've been looking on how to commercialize our till to an extent. So those are the few things that I want to say. And anything that has to do with IGR in our institution here, there is an entrepreneur department.
Yes.
That is the way I've done it, that you have to channel everything
through them.
I've gained something from what you said, that we can invite, which we can do. At least we have started something within all the three colleges coming together to have a series of talk on how to improve ourselves and how to improve the library. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Yes, sir. Please put your hands together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your last word, just to respond to them. They are clapping for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think sincerely, everybody has actually made good contribution. There are some things that are issue of policies that we would meet with.
Hello, Pastor Shola.
Yes.
I still have the floor, sir. And also, they are clapping for their leader. No, the leader is a politician. Maybe he wants to be from your state. Are you from your state? Ondo, okay. You can still make it here now in your state because of his popularity. Okay, over to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we've really had nice time together, and there are some issues of policies that we have to see the head of library. We cannot discuss them here as per some IGR and some other approaches that we can use to interact with management and other departments. And I'm sure Dr. Alunge also will meet with him later. So we'll discuss those ones. But I want to appreciate everyone for your passion for learning and then willingness to actually see that we make impact. Thank you very much and do have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
So, as our custom, what have you taken away from this session, the morning session? This time around, just one person. I know you have made comment. Who has not spoken? Us officer, is that your name? I know. I know the name because of the officer book. Yeah, you know, I enjoyed the book when I was in NC. I read English in NC. So we read the book of officer. Are you family, the professor? Yeah, he wrote the book in Tatat. Very great one, great man. Yeah, and the wife also. Oh, that's good. Also, yeah. You always Osho also. Okay, please tell us what have you taken away from this lesson? Just less than 1 minute or less. You're not talking to me alone, no. Bedroom voice. I'm not your husband now. I'm moving closer. Yeah, speak. Yeah. Thank you very much. Let's clap for her. Let's clap for her. Really. So thank you very much. We'll be back by 2 o'clock. So we'll be looking at electronic records management. So thank you very much. So let's have a recess. Later, we also plan to have a group photograph, at the entrance there. And we also believe that we hope that your certificate will be ready soon. As we are finishing there, we have a short, a ceremony like giving certificates, whereby you just move on. Thank you very much. Your leader maybe have any response. So let's do that. End there, actually. Shola Wolabi, how are you?
Hello.